The family has reached out with you folks in terms of starting off with a civil lawsuit, and today that was pretty much the focus of today's press conference, was that those steps are starting to go into play. Is that correct?
Well, the family reached out to us for help and to help get them answers. As we all know, many times in cases like this, these fatal shootings, that it's transparency is missing from the police. And so the family did the right thing, and they called us, and we are conducting our own investigation. And after having viewed the police slideshow, police narrated propaganda, and being able to 100% exclude anything that Mr. Romero did that would in any way, shape, or form justify this, we are 100% filing a civil rights lawsuit.
Mm-hmm. And you know, right now I understand it's going through its beginning processes, and is there any expectation for when this will, you know, be brought up to some type of judge?
Well, as soon as we're able to. Understand we came in this morning with the understanding, we came into town this morning with the understanding that the police were going to be transparent and that the chief was going to be transparent and show us the video. This has never happened in my career where I've been told by a police department that we're going to be able to see the video, being shown the video. And what we're provided is a police edited, a police narrated, a police controlled piece of propaganda. And yet with all of the information, see, they have all the evidence. The police has all the evidence. Government has it all. And with all of the evidence that they had, the best that they could do still shows that this was an unjustified shoot. All they needed to do was just show us the video. So we're going to prepare the lawsuit, and we'll be filing that and be on the path to providing justice for Stephen and to his family.
You know, for better understanding, were you folks shown this publicly released version today, earlier this week?
This morning at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And the police had one of their city lawyers present. There were several of our officers, the chief, I believe his deputy chief, and a public relations individual who I believe is who it was. I'm not sure all of their titles, but it was a police-filled room with a city lawyer.
Mm-hmm. And were you folks aware that they were also going to be publishing it on a public medium like YouTube after the meeting? Well,
they had initially wanted to release it next week, but we said and had encouraged them to release it today. My understanding was that they were thinking of releasing it around 5 o'clock, but they chose to release it earlier. We urged them to release it.
Mm-hmm. And urged them to release it
today. Yeah,
right.
Sooner rather than later. They were inclined to release it next week, but we with the family's blessing, urged them to release the video, well, their narrated, edited propaganda.
As far as we know, she was out front in a white vehicle, but we don't know her current location.
Screaming. Hey! Show me your hand! Show me your hand! Show me your hand! Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground or I will shoot you! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground! On the ground now!
And that's the spot that they end until they start showing the stills.
Sure.
Reaction to that so far of what was released?
Yeah, you have an individual who's following police commands. He's doing everything that the police had asked him to do. You heard them, show me your hands. He shows them the hands. He says, get on the ground. He gets on the ground. He's showing that the officers that he is armed and not to shoot. He's placing his cell phones on the ground. He's 110% compliant with the police requests. And then this is where it's interesting, because just let the video keep playing. They don't want to show it. They don't want transparency. This was a bad shoot.
You know, another point, as you were saying, they don't let
See,
the video play.
right here.
Right.
At that point, an officer involves shooting. Let us see it. We don't need them to show us those words. Let us see it. We know what gunshots sound like. You don't need, we're not stupid. Do the police think we're stupid? Let us see the video.
And from your perspective, that whole body camera video should have been provided to you and the family.
Yeah, and that's what we were told we were going to see. They didn't say, hey, Mr. Harrington and family, what you're going to see is a police edited, police narrated, government enhanced slideshow. They didn't say that. They said, we'll show you the video. So there's no transparency here.
And is there going to be, I'm assuming there will be a court motion to try and get the full video unedited?
We will get the unedited, unredacted video account of what happened. We'll get, there appears to be 2 body cams. I believe that there was also a 3rd officer present, so I believe that we'll also get a 3rd video if the transparency would pick back up.
And to move on to this second to last question here, one of the stills that they show is the gentleman with his hand on top of what appears to be a gun. Reaction with that being included as part of this video, reaction to this?
It's just being compliant with what the police had asked. There's nothing that is outside of or would support a non-compliance. It was a bad shoot.
Mm-hmm. And was there a moment, I'll have to review this again with you real quick, but from my understanding, they're asking him they're ordering him to get on the ground, but I didn't hear anything about removing any weapons.
Hey! Show me your hand! Show me your hand! Show me your hand! Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground or I will shoot you! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground! On the ground now!
And I'm kind of speculating at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if an argument from the department will be our orders at that time was to get on the ground.
They're going to say anything they can to defend this bad shoot. This man was killed. This man was, his civil rights were violated. So anything they can say, they're going to say. I don't care what they say. It's a bad shoot.
And, expanding out to the civil suit itself, is this specifically on the officers involved or the department as well, or all 3?
We're going to be looking into all potential defendants in the case. I would anticipate that when we're finished with our investigation, there may be training, ratification issues, and I don't know what is in the officers' employment file, if they have a history of violence or if there's prior complaints. But those are all things that we're going to look at and evaluate. As it stands, a civil rights lawsuit will be filed, as it's clear from this slideshow that a rights violation did occur.
And you mentioned it right there. It's hard to lose a family member, especially in such a manner.
Yeah.
What is the goal for you and the family as this lawsuit goes through?
Unfortunately, we don't have perfect justice. Perfect justice would be that Stephen's family gets their dad back. Stephen's family gets the husband back, and it doesn't work that way. But that would be perfect justice. I think that from doing this for as long as I have, getting family members answers and getting them the truth goes a long way towards healing.
How are they doing right now?
They're devastated, absolutely devastated.